Hey folks, welcome along to Wales. Welcome to the Kingdom of Awesomeness. We are ready to go. We've got a seriously tough, challenging track ahead. We're racing 2 at a time. It is straight knockout, and it's going to be the open stand-up up first. My name's Ian Finley. Pleasure to have your company here on the live stream. Thank you for tuning in wherever you're watching around the world. It's not a cold day. It's a little bit windy. It's overcast. We're hoping that we don't get any rain, and we're ready to go. Now, first up is Gregor Schwab. He has a bye in this one. He was the fastest man in qualification, so he is going straight through to the quarterfinals, and it's just an extra practice run for the Swiss athlete, hoping for a top result today. He was 5th in the opening round. Very different track, of course, in Erzincan, Turkey. Here it is narrow, it is tight, just over 1 kilometre in length through the Welsh countryside. We are riding the Dragon today. We're going to run through all of the heats in this first round. 8 heats in total, 2 at a time racing. The track is narrow. We can't really squeeze 4 people onto this track. So a totally different test of skills, of tactics, of racecraft. And Schwab, certainly in the time trials and qualification, has shown he is the fastest man on this mountain. But will he be on top of the podium later? Well, you'll just have to stay with us and find out. Check out all the extra content that we've got on our social media channels as well. So Gregor Schwab safely in the finish area. And of course, with that bye, he moves on to the first of the quarterfinals. Now, he is going to go up against either Antoine Carlotti or Yanis Markarian. This is a very, very tough round of 32. Well, it's actually kind of round of 16, isn't it? Because there isn't 32, but there's eight heats. Markarian 8th in qualifying, Carlotti in 9th. That is how it's worked out with the seedings. So it's a tough race for both of these men. Our first head-to-head action. This is where it all counts. On the left-hand side of the road, Markarian. He was the faster qualifier for this heat. So he gets lane choice. He's wearing the blue sleeve here, or leg sleeve. They're under the command of the starter. Let's see if that left-hand side of the road is the favourite choice for the athletes as we progress through. I think it might set you up nicely for that first turn. Here we go, first race, head-to-head. Markarian with a slightly stronger push over Carlotti. Carlotti's going to be on the inside, or does he just get into the slipstream early? Stay right on the tail of Markarian. Big slide from both of the riders. There's very little between them. That is a nice exit from Carlotti. He's going to sit in the draft uphill, try and move to the side. That is textbook stuff from Carlotti, coming out of turn 1 in the slipstream, moves on the uphill, and now he has the lead. The pressure all on Markarian here. Now that might be a tactic that 1 or 2 other riders, if they're watching, might keep an eye on. It's now or never time for Markarian. He is in the open stand-up finals. The key chicane section of the course coming up. The brakes go on. And it is Carlotti who exits first, staying on the road. It's now a sprint for the line, and Carlotti gets it. And he's screaming over the line, and Markarian follows him home in second place with a little smile on his face. But that all came from that slipstream on the uphill. So we'll have to see how that plays out with some of the other heats. Next up, Harry Clark up against Benoit Said. Now Clark, the faster qualifier here, has chosen the right-hand side of the road. maybe the tactic. Sit in second, slipstream out of turn 1, get the draft up the hill, get that slingshot out. It might not work for everyone, but it worked for Antoine Carlotti, and he will go up against Gregor Schwab in the quarterfinals. Ready for heat number 3. Clark in his first WDSC race of the season. And he's got such a strong start. He would be the favourite in this one. He wears the red leg sleeve as the faster qualifier, Benoit Said. 12th in qualification, and Clark gets a strong start, powers away early, gives him the room into the first turn. It means Said is not close enough to slipstream here. And Clark might just have a look behind him and know that he's got some space, doesn't need to go at 100%, because he might have another tough race coming up if he sees this one out to the finish line. So round the hairpin as Benoit Said in second place in this one. It's Harry Clark's race to lose. The Australian out in front right now. Head down, focusing on the chicane. Braking maybe a little bit earlier than he will in some of the later rounds if he progresses. Clark coming out of the chicane. Might have had a little issue there in that chicane, and it shows you it's not over till it's over. But Harry Clark gets through for Australia. He goes into the quarterfinals. Solid work from Clark. Benoit Said crossing the line as well. 2 men. Great racing from both of them. So Clark into the quarterfinals. Next up, the man that qualified in 4th, Alex Souganakis. His first Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship race of 2024. Souganakis on the left-hand side of the road. Going up against Ben Stainer, man out of London in the UK. Stainer on the right-hand side of the road. Our left, Souganakis choosing that left-hand lane as the riders look at it. Very simple. Win and progress. Lose, you are out. Under starters' orders. So here we go with heat number 4. Souganakis with a really strong start. And the Frenchman rode so well in the qualification. Powers through that first turn. Up over the rise. And Souganakis just has to stay on his feet. And he has this one in the bag. Sponsored by 9.81. Riptide, Tessier Technique, and Best Bagel Lyon. And I heard a fact that I think Lyon has like more Michelin-starred restaurants than Paris. Not sure if that's per head of population, but either way, you get some good food in Lyon. Souganakis on the slide into the chicane. Exits it, no problem, can stand up and take his place in the quarterfinal. He will go up against Harry Clark, though, and these are tasty already. Schwab against Carlotti, Clark against Souganakis. Ben Stainer crossing the line. Now we head back to the top. We've got another tasty looking one here. Bouclier against Olav. Olav had a crash in Q1. Meant he did not take any further part in the qualifying sessions. Bouclier qualified in 3rd place. Interestingly, Bouclier choosing the right-hand side of the road. Winner of this one goes up against Jack Plummer or Micaiah Harness. Bouclier, the young gun out of France. Up against the 29-year-old from Norway. It's a good start from Bouclier. Qualified in third. Olav ended up in 14th, and this one's going to be a little bit closer. Olav going on the brakes earlier. Bouclier pinching the line through turn one. But this is where Olav can be quick. He's got the power. He's got that weight to try and carry the speed up through the rise, but Bouclier, no problem for him. Olav's just got to try and keep Bouclier in his sights. Approaching the hairpin. Bouclier exits no problem. Just about a second and a half between them out on the road. But this type of track, particularly what's to come through this section, is really, really tough for the riders. So you cannot make a mistake through the trees into the chicane. No problem so far for Bouclier. He has a little look over his left-hand shoulder, takes his place in the quarterfinals. Job done for him. Olav out at the first stage, and now another tasty one coming up. Jack Plummer and Micaiah Harness. Jack Plummer choosing the left-hand side of the road. He's got the blue. Harness has the yellow. Plummer sponsored by Scythe Gear and La Polade. Micaiah Harness out of Colorado. Supported by Harness Chiropractic. It's a really nice start from Micaiah. Now watch, does Jack sit in that slipstream? That is got to be the plan. Similar tactics into turn one, but Micaiah's got a decent lead here. Jack's got to keep it close. That's a really strong exit out of that turn from Plummer. He's sitting behind Harness, and he makes the move out on the left-hand side. It's worked again. Great move from Jack Plummer in that slipstream. That's twice we've seen that out of that first turn. But Harness is close. He's keeping the pressure on Plummer. Harness is not going anywhere. Are we going to see our first real attacks through the chicane? It's now Harness sitting in the slipstream. Nothing between these two riders. Both of them standing up, and Jack going for the air brake. Harness is in trouble. He's off the course. Harness is gone. Plummer is going to ride through into the quarterfinals. Harness taking the risk. You've got to do that. You've got to try things on this course. Job done for Jack Plummer. He is into the quarterfinals, and he goes up against Andreas Bouclier. Good to see Micaiah back on his feet. Strong start from the American, but wasn't to be. But he took the risk, took his opportunity, didn't pay off. That's racing, folks. 2 heats to go. Owen Fox up against Bumpy Hales. Fox qualified in 7th. Hales ended up in 10th. Fox on the left-hand side of the road as he looks at it. Waiting for the command. Oh, little bit of a jump start there. We'll have a quick word with them. Naughty, naughty. Don't mess with Will and his megaphone. I mean, they're standing right next to you. Do you really need the megaphone? He doesn't leave home without it. I've seen him have it on an airplane, and of course there is a reason why he uses it. It's not just how he communicates with us at meetings and stuff. It's got the beeps that we use for the start, but he loves that thing. You should see him checking it in. It's all protected, looked after. Takes very good care of that megaphone. Here we go. It's a nice start from Bumpy Hills on the right-hand side of the road. Owen Fox with some work to do, but Owen may have heard what has worked for some of the riders that are entered turn one in second place. Bumpy Hills knows these UK roads well. Owen closing in, and Owen gets the exit speed, so sitting right in the slipstream. Totally different style of racing, of course, to what we've seen in round number one, and Owen coming round the outside of Bumpy Hills. Owen squeezes into first place. Bumpy Hills is going nowhere here. Impressive riding from the Brit today, taking a lot of risk into the hairpin. Fox just building a little bit of a lead here. He's got a slightly higher top end through the straight. Hales has got to keep that connection with Fox. Got to let Fox know that you're there. Try and force him into a little mistake or an error. Good work from Fox through the chicane. Oh, and Bumpy Hills is down and in the bails. Fox comes through. He goes into the quarterfinals. Nice ride from Owen Fox. Bumpy Hills is back on his feet. Let's hope he's okay. High speed section of the course to have a problem, but we hope he's all right. One heat left to go. Adrian Paynel should have been up against Richie Rogers, but it looks like it's going to be a bye for Paynel. So, Mike Schwab, he will take his place in the quarterfinals, barring any extreme mishaps. It's a bit of a training run for Paynel. Steps on the gas pedal. And Paynel can just think a little bit about the racing line here rather perhaps than the qualifying line. Some of the riders are taking, we've seen some close racing into the hairpin. A couple of falls already. We're going to get that on this type of course. But as we get through the heats, everyone more and more closely matched. So expect to see tighter and tighter racing as we work our way through the quarterfinals and semi-finals into the final and the Consi final later on. So Paynel standing up early, not expending any more energy than he needs to. Job done, of course, out on his own, but he will get ready for the quarterfinals. He is going to go up against Owen Fox. So the lineup for the open stand-up quarterfinals. Quarterfinal one, Schwab against Carlotti. Zuganakis against Clark. Bouclier against Plummer. Paynel against Fox. Well, it looks like to get
Tell me how that one feels.
Feels great, I can't lie. Mocha, insane rider. I was quite worried. He pushed off so much harder than me, and I was honestly worried. He's such a talented rider, and I know he can pull out the bag easily. So I'm blessed to be racing with him. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, you really nailed that slipstream coming out of that first corner. Were you worried at all that you were behind going into it, or were you a little bit confident that you had the time and you had the pace still to get past and take the lead?
This is kind of a learning curve for me. I'm slowly learning to think about things in the race in the moment and deepening them a bit more. And yeah, first 5 seconds I was panicking, but I realized, oh, you know what? I'm gonna stay behind him, let him do a slide first, and I reckon I'm just gonna slide as much as I need to, and then chop him. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just picked up pace from there on out. You put him under pressure. He had to really chase, and that caused him to make that mistake. Had you realized he'd kind of slidden out towards the end, or were you just game face and tunnel vision?
No, I heard him behind me on the left, and so I knew he was going to be on my ass coming through to the straight. I'm a big draft, so I knew it was going to happen. That's why I carved across the road and then slid. I had no clue he crashed behind me. It's obviously devastating when your homie crashes in a race against you because they're not doing their best they can. But yeah, at the same time, as you said, I put him into that position where he had to choose a hard decision, and he made a mistake. So
yeah, exactly. And you got a couple of races left. You through to the next stage, and we'll pass back to Ian in the commentary box for the first round of the luge races. But yeah, congratulations, Jack. We'll see you on the next round.
Thank you.
Let me know when I should go up.
Getting ready to start the luge quarterfinals. The lugers are there having a quick chat. Why are they not ready to go? Getting everything in position, of course. Drones are getting back in the air. And we'll move on with the luge quarterfinals. Any moment now. There's the view up the course. Our elite drone pilot, Robbie, just guiding that drone up over the trees. And you can see this track in all its glory. It's so much steeper than it looks. It is a brute, it's short, but it's got some serious bite. And that is the start section. Up there, long straight start into that tough first turn. The key overtaking spots so far have been coming out of turn 1 on the uphill. That is where the slipstream happens. And we're getting ready to go with the luge quarterfinals. Ulrich Becker in this first one. Should be up against Josh Fieldwick. Ulrich Becker with the orange helmet. He's got the red leg sleeve on, and Ulrich choosing the... Is he choosing the right-hand side of the road or the left-hand side of the road? A quick conversation with Will. I think left-hand side of the road for luge may be better. Ulrich coming off the back of third place in the opening round of the Brinx Cup. The World Downhill Skateboarding Championships here in Wales. Thank you for watching wherever you are around the world on Brinx TV, on DAZN. Great to have DAZN involved as well. Hopefully taking this sport to some new audiences. So Ulrich Becker up against Josh Fieldwick. Becker has been the quickest in qualifying, but it's Fieldwick with a stronger start here, putting Becker under a little bit of pressure. Becker now settles down. He's got the line on the left-hand side of the road, but does Fieldwick try and shut him off? Where can Becker find the room to pass? He's fast in the corners here. Fieldwick runs it out a little wide, but it's all going to plan. Now we've seen in stand-up, this is your overtaking point, and Becker not quite close enough, so we might have a shock on our hands here unless Becker can find a way past through this section. Both riders sitting up. Becker is going to have to take some risk now. He's got the speed coming out of the hairpin. Can he make the pass before the chicane? Fieldwick holding him off for now. What great racing in the first of the luge quarterfinals. The brakes go on. This is going to be so tough. Fieldwick holding off the top qualifier, Ulrich Becker. Becker going on the inside. He's not got enough room to make the pass. Fieldwick on the exit. A big shock. The 8th seed, Josh Fieldwick, crosses the line. Ulrich Becker out of the race in the quarterfinals. A fantastic run from Josh Fieldwick there. Got a superb start. I think it's tougher to overtake on this hill on the luges, but we will see. Next heat. Andrew Spate up against Dan Pirk. Spate in all red. Qualified in 4th, Pirk in 5th. Andy Spate, 5th in the opening round of the tour. You've got to believe you can see what's possible if you get that good start. Under the command of the starter, here we go. Both riders underway. It's a good start from Andy Spate. And he powers away from the man from the Netherlands with the green leg sleeve on. Win this one and you're into the semi-finals. That is where Josh Fieldwick finds himself. Through turn 1, no problem. Spate up over the rise, and now you can settle into the straight. Dan Pierkes just a little too far behind to think about an overtake here. Good run from Spate. He's got a little bit of room to brake just earlier. Coming through, approaching the chicane. You've got that right-hander now. Into the tricky chicane. Pinch that line. Release on the exit. Spate's done it. And Spate crosses the line. He takes it. He is into the semi-finals up against Josh Fieldwick. Top work. And we've got a faller. Dan Pierre going down in the chicane just on the exit. That first part of the chicane. The marshals are quickly sweeping up the loose hay. So Spate up against Fieldwick in the first of the semi-finals. Next up, Phil Spencer up against George Cheeseman. This all-British clash in quarterfinal number 3. Phil Spencer with a really good Q3. George is a strong, strong rider, though. Who's got the better of the starts? Pretty even off the blocks, but it's Phil Spencer still going, gets an extra couple of pushes in. It's going to be really, really interesting into turn 1 because these two are neck and neck. Spencer on the left-hand side of the road with the red leg sleeves, braking a little bit later than Cheeseman. Works his way through the first turn. Apologies if just that picture freezing just slightly. But Cheeseman is close, and we saw this in the first heat with Fieldwick and Becker. But Cheeseman hasn't made the pass yet. Phil Spencer still holding him off. Bit of a wobble into the turn from Spencer, but these two are close. They're going to exit the hairpin. Just about a tenth of a second between them. Spencer quick on the straight, but Cheeseman in touch. Cheeseman has to take the risk here. Phil Spencer on a flyer, placing the semi-finals up for grabs. You've got to get it right through this section. Cheeseman's running a little bit wide. Cheeseman clips the bails. He's out. And Phil Spencer comes through into the semi-finals. Good to see George Cheeseman on his feet quickly. There's going to be a little bit of work to do to get these bails back in place. Our elite team are there to help out. George Cheeseman completes the run. So Phil Spencer through, Andy Spates through, Josh Fieldwick is through. There's one heat to go. Colby Parks up against Ian Martland Myrtle. Whilst we're repairing the course, Gaz has managed to grab Ulrich Becker. We'll just give it a second or two, and we'll try and grab a very quick chat with Ulrich. Well, they're still working on the course. So, whilst they're still sweeping the course, let's go over to Gaz, who's got Ulrich Becker.
You wanted today. Tell me about that race.
Oh, that was very bad. Now I was first in qualifying, and now I'm first in losing actually, because I absolutely underestimated Josh. I knew he had good qualifying times. He had a 1:14, but my plan just didn't work. I distributed a little bit of a distance, I thought, and then carrying more speed around the corner and overtaking him behind the corner. But he was taking the corner so fast, so I couldn't keep up with him, or it took me a long time to come back to him, so I couldn't make it actually. And there are not so many overtaking opportunities on that track, and yeah, that's how it went. That's racing, and especially on a small track like that, it's actually not possible to plan it.
Yeah, and you got so close before the hairpin. I really thought that was going to be your chance going into that chicane. I thought you'd have the slipstream, go for it, but just ran out of road almost.
Yeah, that would have been not a legal move and not a fair move anymore. So I I was not in time to make a good move on him in this tight corner. I have to get next to him before we turn in, and that was not possible. So I didn't go in. Yeah.
Yeah, well, unlucky, but hopefully we'll see you again racing soon, and we'll go back to Ian for the next race.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Fun. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Ulrich, for giving us your time. Sure be disappointed after that quarter-final loss. So 1 heat to go. Thought we'd try and grab you a quick interview whilst the track was still being swept. It's all done thanks to our marshals now. Colby Parks up against Ian Martland. Colby Parks, the winner of round number 1 in Erzincan. We saw in Q3 he had a huge wobble, didn't he? It was heart-in-mouth stuff. Colby Parks gets a decent start. He's in the red leg sleeves. Ian Martland 8th in Erzincan. Qualified in 7th for this race. Parks has been quick out of this turn all day long, and now Ian Martland keeping in touch though with Colby Parks through the opening section of the course. Parks into the hairpin, followed by Martland. And here is where Parks has been so good. But he left us all on the edge of our seats through this next section. And Colby Parks comes through and takes his place in the semi-finals. He will go up against Phil Spencer in the semi-finals. We've got riders back in the start. Getting ready for the stand-up quarterfinals. Gregor Schwab and Antoine Carlotti. So they will go in heat number 1, quarterfinal number 1. Every single one of these heats is so tough. Just waiting on the start. They're getting lined up. Schwab choosing the left-hand side of the road. Gregor Schwab up against Antoine Carlotti. Neither of these men have been on the podiums this season. Can either of them change that today? It won't be both of them. It might have been if it was 4 at a time racing. But this is straight knockout. And the Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Thank you for watching wherever you are watching around the world. Perhaps you're watching us on DAZN for the first time. If you are, let us know. Make sure you follow us on social media as well, because there's going to be so much content coming out from this weekend in Wales. So Schwab and Carlotti under starters' orders. Here we go. Strong start from both riders. Now Carlotti knows what he has to do. And it's Schwab who gets the whole shot. Just ahead of Carlotti here. Carlotti stands up early. Gets the braking done quickly. Now he releases, but Schwab is so quick. And Carlotti doesn't have the connection that he had up against Markarian to slipstream past the Swiss rider. And Schwab now pulling away. He has been lightning quick on this hill all week long. Through the hairpin. Job done for Schwab. But the tricky section is coming up next. And Carlotti is still in touch. So Schwab cannot afford a single mistake here. Start that. The entry now. The brakes go on. And Schwab exiting the hairpin. And he has got it. He is into the semi-finals. Carlotti is out. Great riding yet again from Antoine Carlotti. So he, from Antoine Carlotti and from Gregor Schwab. Schwab into the semi-finals. Who is he going to face? Zuganakis and Harry Clark, 4th and 5th in qualifying. Zuganakis on the left-hand side of the road in the red. Harry Clark from Australia with the green leg sleeve on. This road is tough. The wheels are taking a battering. There's been a fair few wheel changes going on. But the riders are dialed in. Quarterfinal number 2. Oh. Rerun the fun. Rerun the fun. Try again. Easy, chaps. The riders are even getting a little bit of a tailwind on that start section as well. So Will Stevenson gets the beeps reset. This one could be very close. So here we go at the second time of asking. Clark getting a really great push there. Zuganakis has work to do, but what a start that was from the Australian. He's built up a big lead into turn number 1. Here's the slide. Now, Zuganakis has closed up and it will be in the slipstream of Harry Clark here. And Clark's got to be careful, but he's got just enough. But here comes Zuganakis. Has he got enough speed to make the pass? Clark just protecting his position on the road. That is great riding from Harry Clark. Now, the hairpin. Can Zuganakis do anything here? He tries to go a little bit more outside, but it's a clean exit from both riders. They are going to be separated by next to nothing coming into the chicane. Clark has the position at the moment. He stepped it up in heats, hasn't he? Brakes go on. Oh, they're so close. Is there any room for Zuganakis to make a pass? Zuganakis loses a board. He's down. He is down. And Clark gets the victory in quarterfinal number 2. He goes on to face Schwab in the first of the semi-finals. Zuganakis is back on his feet. Had to take a lot of risk going into the chicane. It was the only way he was going to make a pass. Tight racing. Well, 2 heats done. Now, quarterfinal number 3, Bouclier up against Plummer. Bouclier with those red leg sleeves. Jack Plummer with the green and the pink helmet on. Here we go, quarterfinal number 3. What a start from Bouclier. So much power there. Settles nicely. Plummer gets into the tuck early. Got to keep that connection. Absolutely key coming out of turn number 1. But Bouclier is so fast. He went up a gear, didn't he, in the third qualification run in Q3, and Plummer not quite close enough to get into the slipstream. Through this section, Bouclier clean, just pinch it on the right-hand side of the road. Stay over on the right. Plummer trying to close that gap. He's done that a little bit here. But is he close enough to launch an attack on the chicane? Plummer's got the weight advantage here. That might help him build up a little bit more speed. But Bouclier absolutely flying. Now Plummer has to take some risk and close in. Let Bouclier know he's there. Bouclier into the chicane. And Plummer into the bales. Big fall for Plummer. Let's hope he's okay. Bouclier takes it. He's into the semi-finals. I can see Jack Plummer back on his feet. Hopefully he's all right after that one. Just trying to shake it off. They're doing a little bit of work on the bales again, but it's Bouclier into the semi-finals. He is going to face Adrien Paynel or Owen Fox. They are waiting to start their quarterfinal. We're just going to try and grab a quick chat with Antoine Carlotti here whilst the bales are being repaired. So as Antoine goes the wrong side of the barriers there in front of the commentary position, let's head over to Gaz, who's got Antoine Carlotti.
That race, tell us all about it.
I'm feeling good, to be honest. A little bit bummed on this one because the first one was a really tough heat. Unfortunately, I didn't qualify the way I wanted it. Did a super good run in Q3, and then I missed the last corner in Q2 actually, so I didn't make it to Q3.
Yeah,
that was a disappointment. And then when you qualify not as good as you want, then you're with it was the worst. I was 9th with the 8th, which was Yanis, my good friend who we came with. So it's always, a weird situation because we travel all together, we're super good friends, and then when we're on track, everyone wants to win, and it's super stressful because you don't want it to be that next week we're the French team for the other championship, and we're together, so it's always special. And that race, he pushed better, I was behind, and when you're behind here, it's very hard to pass. But he clipped the inside with his elbow, almost crashed. I was super scared right behind him, so he didn't get the best line, and I overtook him on the bump after that, and then I led for the whole race. So that was my high of the weekend. I was very stoked, even if it's for not first place, it's for 8th, but still it felt good. And then the next one I'm against Greg, my other buddy, same exact thing, I want him to win, not as much as I want to win, but still a lot, And
we'll just have to put you off there. We've got the
no worries, sorry, I'm talking too much.
Thanks so much for chatting. We'll pass you guys back to Ian for the next race, but thank you so much. Unlucky today.
And Greg, Andreas, kill this.
Thanks, Antoine, for giving us your time. Ready for the last of the quarterfinals. Adrien Paynel and Owen Fox lined up. Paynel qualified in 2nd, Fox in 7th. Paynel on the left-hand side of the road. He's wearing the red leg sleeve. It's tense up there, but we're going to get them underway. Time for a quick breather, and we'll get going again. Okay. Second time of asking. Paynell versus Fox. So here we go. And what a start that is from Paynell. He has the advantage. Approaching turn one, but Owen Fox is a quality rider, and he will try and keep it close. He really gets good exit speed here, does Fox, but Paynell has the advantage, and Fox not quite able to get in the slipstream yet. Oh, here he comes. Owen Fox is closing. He's closing and he's not able to make the pass yet, but there is nothing between the two riders, and Fox is putting the pressure on Paynell side by side into the hairpin. This is as close as it's been so far here in Wales. Paynell onto the straight with Fox for company right behind him. Paynell being pushed hard. Can Fox do something here into the chicane? Paynell still has the advantage. Fox with the early break, and they're all over the road. And Fox, oh, he goes down, and the board just misses Paynell. Paynell can stand up. He takes it. He's into the semi-finals up against Bouclier. Owen Fox going down. He's back on his feet. Fox really pushed Paynell hard in that one. Wasn't to be today for Owen Fox. Well, we've got our semi-final lineup. Schwab up against Zouganakis. Paynell up against Bouclier. And with that, we turn our attention back to the luge. Semi-final number one. Andrew Spate up against Josh Fieldwick. Fieldwick, who knocked out the number one seed, Ulrich Becker. Watch the start on this man. But Spate spends a lot of time in the gym. He's got equipment in his house. He works out early every morning. He's in great shape. So here we go. First of the men's semi-finals. Win this and you are guaranteed a medal here. And it's Josh Fieldwick again with the good start. And Fieldwick ahead of Spate here. And Spate has to do something. It's not Dan Peerk of the Netherlands. It is Fieldwick in the lead with Andy Spate in second place. Spate trying to run it tight on the exit. Can he get in the slipstream? Can he do anything? He's got the size advantage. You could see that Spate has a little bit more top end, but there's nowhere to go. Spate putting the pressure on Josh Fieldwick. Round the outside, and Spate's maybe going to try and cut tight on the inside of the turn. But it's Fieldwick who has put on a masterclass so far today. Not a lot Spate can do. At the moment, the braking zone, and Spate has to think about maybe trying to dive on the inside. There's all he can do here on the exit from the chicane. Can Spate get close enough? There's nowhere to go. It's going to be a bit of a sprint for the line, but Josh Fieldwick just holds off Andy Spate. A little shake of the head from Spate, but Fieldwick into the final. A great run again from Josh Fieldwick. He is guaranteed a medal here. Now, semi-final number two. Spate goes into the Consi final. Colby Parks up against Phil Spencer. Parks, the championship leader, looking to go 2 from 2. But he's got to get past rapidly improving Phil Spencer, who is in tune with the board this weekend in Wales. Fieldwick awaits in the final. Colby Parks on the left-hand side of the road, the Canadian out of Ontario. Phil Spencer from Great Britain, they're neck and neck out of the start. Colby sitting up and, Spencer getting down low a little bit earlier. putting the pressure on Parks. They're going to be side by side into the first turn. Well, Spencer just moved in behind Parks there. But he's got to keep that connection, got to stay close. You never know. We saw how close Spate got in the previous semi-final. Bit of an advantage here, though. There's not a lot in it between Parks and Spencer. Through the hairpin. Good clean exit from both riders. Parks with a bit of a cushion. Spencer not able to sit in the draft. And the gap increases. Colby Parks looking to make his second final in a row. The Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Avoids the speed wobble that he had in qualification. And it's Colby Parks from Canada who takes his place in the big final. We're going to have Spate versus Spencer in the Consi final. But it's Fieldwick versus Parks in the big final of the luge. They will race it out for gold. So now we have got the men's, or the, I do apologise, the open stand-up semi-finals coming up next. This short, sharp, tight, brutal course. We're going to take a little ad break now, and then we'll be back with the semi-finals in a moment. Okay, we're still getting ready for the open stand-up semi-finals. Let's go over to Gaz.
So here with Alex, just whilst we're taking this quick break, tell us about the racing today. How did you find that going head-to-head?
That was really tough. Like, this is a really unique experience to have a race here. It's kind of really difficult to race. Like, if you push first, you will probably win if the one in front don't make a mistake. But it's part of the game and you have to deal with it. So, yeah.
Any opportunities you thought you might have had to sneak back in front, or was it just once you're in the hairpin, you're locked in?
There was an opportunity maybe after the first corner. There is like this big bump. You have a lot of draft there, but Harry is so heavy that then when you go back on the hill, it's just like he's gone. And maybe after the left, I thought I can maybe pass him because I can draft him during the left because I'm goofy and he's regular, and I have more draft, but couldn't happen. I scrubbed a lot there.
And Harry's got such a powerful, explosive start that, it's all leg power at the start's going to decide the race.
I think he's got the best start of all the downhill skateboarding scene. Maybe I'd like to see Frenchie. Well, it's going to be Frenchie and Adrian right now, so I'd like to see it, like the battle of push between those two guys, because I think they have both the best push of the downhill skateboarding right now. But I think Harry's going to win. He's got so much power for the push. Yeah.
So what's it been like racing in Wales compared to Turkey? Like, completely different experience, but still very enjoyable?
Yeah, this is really different. Like, it's the experience is really different. The weather, the place, the track, everything. Like, here it's really steep and narrow. Turkey is really wide. It's more fast, but you feel more confident to go fast on Turkey than here, I guess, because there are some cracks. I don't know, like, it's really technical, steep and narrow, you know what I mean.
Totally get you, and sorry to cut you off. We're ready back at the top for the next race. Thank you so much for racing today, and unlucky with the results. But Ian, back to you in the commentary box for the next race.
Thank you.
Still waiting to get was in the open stand-up underway. A little bit of preparation being done before we are able to race again. So still a few more moments. We got the open stand-up semis, and then we've got the Consi final and final in the luge, and then it will be the Consi final and final for the open stand-up. Riders are just about there. They're all there. Schwab, Clark, Paynel, and Bouclier. Schwab up against Clark in the first of the semi-finals. Schwab, the quickest man on the mountain. Still not quite ready at the moment. 6 more heats, 6 more races in total for you to enjoy here. The Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship here in Wales. We're in Pontyfendergrade in Wales, not too far away from Aberystwyth. Little village that's been hosting us, and we thank the people here for their hospitality. We're at Dolbolian Farm on this fantastic racetrack, throwing up some real surprises, some wonderful racing. Very, very different to what we had in round number 1, but that is the point of having a tour. It can't all be the same challenge every race. Different set of skills needed here, different set of tactics by the best in the world, showing again their class, whatever is thrown at them. Men just been given a couple of moments to get themselves ready. You can see Bouclier, Andreas Bouclier there. He's got the red leg sleeve on. He'll be up against Painel in the second of the semi-finals. Clark just going through his warm-up, picking up the helmet because he knows it's nearly go time. Did catch Schwab. There he is. He's got the red leg sleeve. So we'll go to a very quick commercial before we get this semi-final underway. Lined up for the start of the semi-finals. It's all or nothing time now. The preparation is done. The practice is done. The early heats are done. Win this one, you're walking away with a medal. Lose and you've got to go and fight in the Consi final for 3rd place. Schwab can make a nice move up the standings if he can get the win here. Here we go. Under the command of Will Stevenson in the start. Semi-final number 1 underway, and that was a false start there, I think, from Harry Clark. And we're going to hike back up the road. He did get away very, very quickly, didn't he? Might just take his time walking back up the hill. I'll keep saying it, it is a lot steeper than it looks. The road from my position just rises above us. Works its way down the hillside pretty quickly. Cameras never quite do it justice, do they? But it is steep, particularly the chicane. Well, Clark on his way back up. We'll try again. He knows how quick Schwab is on this hill, so he has to get a quick start. So here we go. Second time of asking. The men are ready. The boards are ready. We're ready. Hope you're ready wherever you're watching. Semi-final 1 underway in the Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Look at the start from Harry Clark from Australia. Moves in front of the top qualifier, Schwab from Switzerland. But Schwab is quick, and he will have seen the slipstreaming that's happened on this course already. So into turn 1, Clark gets the exit speed. Work to do for Gregor Schwab. He is under pressure for the first time this weekend in Wales. The gap is growing, and Harry Clark building an advantage here over the Swiss athlete. It's Clark's first Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship race of the season. Through the hairpin, Is there anything Gregor Schwab can do over the bottom section? He's got to be in that tuck position. He is. He's got to be trying to reel in Clark. But look at the speed of the Australian. Goes for the air brake into the slide. This is the key moment of this race. And Schwab has closed up. Can Schwab make a move on the inside? It's getting super, super tight. It's going to be a sprint for the line. But there's not a lot of racetrack left. Harry Clark gets it just ahead of Schwab. Clark into the big final. What a race we had there. Fantastic racing from Clark. He goes into the big final. Schwab into the Consi final. Now we are ready for an all-French semi-final 2. Paynel up against Bouclier. These two were first and second in round number 1. Here they're facing off in the semi-finals. Paynel with the red leg sleeve on. Bouclier with the green. Quick check of the cameras. Sort of, good luck, sir. All the best. Friends off the hill, but the friendship maybe stops for about a minute and 10, 11 seconds, and then we'll be friends again after that. Such is the community. Love the community that we have here in downhill. A fantastic group of athletes. Just great people. Here we go. Semi-final 2 underway. Another quick start from Bouclier. He's still pushing while Paynel settles into the tuck position. And the slipstream. Is Paynel going to try and make the pass on turn number 1? He isn't. It's into the braking zone. And Bouclier carrying good speed out of the turn, as is Paynel. Oh, huge moment. Paynel out in turn 1 into the bales. Bouclier on his own. Paynel is moving again. That is good to see. He has the Consi final still to come, unless Bouclier decides to exit the track for some reason. Can't see that happening. He will know that he can just come off the gas pedal. He does that. Doesn't need to take the risk. So Bouclier entering the chicane. Just got to manage himself through here and take his place into the final where Harry Clark is waiting. So Bouclier has a chance to go 2 from 2. Paynel just entering the hairpin, and Paynel, thankfully, no signs of injury after that crash on the first turn. He goes in to the Consi final. Bit of work to do with the bales. It looks like everything's getting swept up. We want to get the loose hay bales out the way. We're going to get ready for the luge Consi final and final. And whilst we are doing that, we have got Owen Fox. I'm about to have a chat with Gaz, or Gemma the Third, as we've been calling him. Any of the Gemmas are watching, then we miss you. So Gaz is with Owen Fox. Let's go over to Gaz now.
Unluckily slid out in that last race. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really tight heat from top to bottom. I was racing Adrian, who's like my #1 main training partner throughout the year too, so always an intense sort of time when we're racing together. He got me off the start, which is not unusual. I sort of expected to be fighting from the back. Made up really good time in the first corner. Lost a little bit in the middle one in the left, but I thought I was doing a pretty good job, and I'd have a nice little shot for it at the end, and I just made a small miscalculation. He sort of caught me off guard with where he threw his drift in the last right, and I just ended up sort of on my side. I mean, the other option was just to spear him up the back, and that just, you know, I'm not trying to do that. We're not trying to hurt each other, and yeah, so I ended up sort of laying it down. Not how I wanted to go, but for being a regular rider on this hill, I'm pretty proud of myself for giving it the effort I had.
Yeah, it definitely tends to suit the goofy-footed rider. Is that something you kind of think about going to the next race, or is it just different course, different mentality?
Yeah, I mean, we'll look at that for the next course. Each course is so different. I think the next course will be in Tennessee, and that'll be, I think, a much more neutral sort of track. If anything, I think it might favor the regular riders, and that's normal. Each track tends to favor a stance. This one, I think, is a little extreme, which we didn't actually expect coming into this, but it definitely, throughout the weekend, we've seen, Harry's in finals right now, being regular, but I think we can attribute that to his strong kick more than his stance. So there's give and take.
And does it help racing with your training partner? Do you kind of know a little bit of what to expect, or would you rather race someone completely different just to keep it on your toes?
I mean, I think there's good and bad. The stress is definitely higher when I'm with him. We've been friends for so long, and definitely we want to beat each other, and we're always sort of thinking about that. And yeah, you know how each other ride, but you also definitely know how to mess with the other one also, and it's sort of just a give and take. Like the intricacies of how we know to skate with each other are so extreme that it almost would be easier to ride with someone else.
Throwing mind games on the minibus on the way back up the hill.
Yeah, maybe not even that. I mean, he's not really the mind games guy, but I really honestly thought he had just thrown me off in the bottom corner. And that was a miscalculation on my part, but it definitely occurred to me that he would be doing something to trip me up.
So who do you reckon's got this in the final?
I got to put all the cards on my guy Harry. I think he's got one of the best kicks in the world, and I think that plays such a huge part here. Passing is incredibly difficult, as I just crashed trying to figure out. But Andreas is obviously a superstar, and I think it'll be a really good race to watch. But yeah, I got Harry all the way.
Yeah, because you look at Harry's start, and it's explosive. He's already got the lead going in. Do you reckon that's something that'll come into your mind training-wise? You need to focus on that downhill flow?
No, the start for me is definitely my weakest point. It has been my whole career, and so I've definitely put a lot of time into training it. And I have seen results, but I'm not at the level of Harry or some of these top pushers out there. But the fact that even French has got a world-class kick, and the fact that I was able to keep up with him tells me that I'm doing all right, but I could be doing more.
Totally, yeah. So, any positives from the day? What's been highlight moments? I know you'd had a little incident in one of the qualification rounds, but have you enjoyed the day in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, I've definitely enjoyed the day. It's definitely an uptick from the practice days. I think it's not unsuited to my skill set. So the fact that I was able to put down quality times like I was and sort of hang with, Adrian on a track like this, I feel good about myself. And yeah, just looking forward to the next one and looking to do better.
Amazing. Well done today. Condolences for not making it through, but awesome to see you race. We'll pass back to Ian in the commentary box as we get ready for the finals.
Thank you.
Thanks, Owen. Well, just waiting on the riders to get back to the top for the luge and open stand-up Consi finals and finals. So whilst we're waiting, let's go for another quick commercial break. Here we go. We are ready for the Consi final here in Wales. Phil Spencer up against Andy Spate for third place. Spencer qualified in third ahead of Spate. But can Spate get a little bit of redemption here? Or will Phil Spencer get his first podium in the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship? Lined up. This is the race for third place. So, the two men, both from the UK. Spencer on the left-hand side of the screen. Spate. Spencer on the left-hand side of the road. I'll get that right for you. Spate on the right-hand side of the road. It was Phil Spencer with lane choice. Here we go. Consi final in the luge underway. Strong-looking start from both riders. They are neck and neck at the moment. Spate gets down low. First on the board, side by side. Coming into turn one, this is going to be super, super tight. Spate hits the brakes. Phil Spencer gets on the brakes a little later. And it's Phil Spencer with the advantage. Coming out of that turn, Spencer trying to hold off Andy Spate, who's got the size advantage through this section. He can build the speed a little bit quicker, but Spencer has been working so hard in the that he is doing off of the hill to be ready to battle it out on the hill against the world's best. But Andy Spate is going nowhere. Here he comes. Is he going to take section? Spate still sitting in third place right now. Spencer has a little look. Has Spate got anything? Can he make a move through this section? It's not going to happen, and Phil Spencer is going to get third place, his first Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship podium. And Andy Spate, with a smile on his face across the line, there won't be a happier man than Andy Spate to see Phil get on the podium today. Congratulations to Phil Spencer. We are back at the top of the hill for the Consi final in the open stand-up, and we are going to finish the day off with the two finals. Gregoire Schwab in the red, Adrien Paynel in the green. Third place up for grabs here. Paynel second in round number one. Really could do with the points for third. The 75 points that are up for grabs to keep the pressure on Bouclier going into round three later in the season in the USA. If Paynel wants a chance at the Brinx Cup and the prize money. Apologies for the graphic there. That is not the correct graphic. It's Schwab up against Paynel. Harry Clark we'll see a little bit later in the make sure you Brinx, thank you for tuning in. So we're four. So here we go, Consi final underway. Gregoire Schwab and Adrien Paynel. Really nice start from Paynel. Schwab settles on the board early. Paynel is just going to try and drift in front of him. He's going to have the lead into turn one. Similar tactics from both riders. The sparks are flying. Schwab getting a quick exit. He is in the slipstream of Paynel. We've seen this move work before, earlier on in the competition. Can Schwab get close enough to make the move before the hairpin? He's not quite close enough, but the pressure is on Paynel from France into the hairpin. Both men, it's neck and neck. Onto the straight. Schwab still on the heels. Speed increasing now. The hairpin, the last chance to make a pass. Paynel in control of the race. Schwab is not close enough to make a pass, and Paynel exits, as does Schwab. It is going to be third place today in Wales for Adrien Paynel. Second race of the season in the Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Second podium for Paynel. Fourth place today for the top qualifier, Schwab of Switzerland. He will pick up 66 points in the championship standings. He'll move ahead of Westphal and Poncelet in the standings. Great racing from Paynel. Well, that is the view as we're climbing up over the trees towards the start. We have got two races to go, folks. It has been a lot of fun this weekend in Wales. We're going to finish in style. Luge final coming up next. Well, the lugers, Colby Parks and Josh Fieldwick. Fieldwick has been lightning quick. He had a problem in qualifying, ended up down in 8th place. But he knocked out Ulrich Becker, defeated Andrew Spate in the semi-finals. and finds himself up against the winner of round 1, the championship leader, Colby Parks. Here we go. Men's luge final. Colby Parks with a good start, but Fieldwick's starts have been super strong all day, and they're approaching the first turn. Can Fieldwick get the line into the turn? And it's Colby Parks who just holds that line and has the advantage. Fieldwick's running low. Fieldwick's in the bails. Fieldwick's in the bails. Colby Parks just has to come through. Colby Parks is out on his own. Fieldwick has worked so hard today. They're working on the bails at the top. He gets moving again. But Colby Parks is going to ride through to take his second victory in a row on the World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Entering the chicane, and the Canadian is the form man this season. One more turn to go. Colby Parks comes through, takes the victory in round number 2 in Wales. He celebrates a great day's work from Colby Parks. Victory again for the Canadian. 200 points now for him in the championship standings. Josh Fieldwick is still to complete the course. Fieldwick coming through. He will take a well-earned second place today for Josh Fieldwick. It has been great racing. We're working on the bails at the top of the course. We're going to have a very quick interview with Phil Spencer whilst those bails are being replaced ahead of the open stand-up final. Gaz has got Phil Spencer. Let's go over to Gaz now.
So here with Phil, your third fastest today, fastest grandad in the UK. Tell us how it feels.
Amazing, mate, amazing. I'm in semis with Colby, Canadian Dream. What can you say about that guy? Absolute legend to ride with. Got put against Andy in the consies. Pushed as hard as I could, just out-pushed him. Got it lead, that was it.
Perfect. So any kind of, well, it was a close start. You were pushing. You held the lead into the first turn.
Yeah.
Was it a bit of a game of chicken?
It was, yeah. He braked first, and he was behind me all the way down. Inches behind, I could hear him behind me all the way down. So yeah, good run, real good run.
I reckon he was trying to get into your head a little bit mentally, put you off a little bit.
Mate, there's nothing in my head to get into. Honestly, it'll be lonely if he gets in my head.
Well, amazing. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat to us. We'll head back up for the next race.
Thank you very much. Cheers, dude. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Phil. Well, the bails are being worked on. A little bit of sweeping to go. We've just got one race left. The open stand-up final. Huge thank you to all of the marshals, volunteers, everyone that's helped put this race on this weekend. It's a monumental effort. Big thank you, of course, to all of the crew behind the scenes that have been bringing you the pictures back in the office, on top of a mountain, sitting under a tree, flying a drone. There's people all over the hill working hard to bring you the pictures, folks. So a huge thank you to all of them. Chris on the timing, Will in the start. Big thanks, of course, to Salim, the man that's helping make all of this happen, putting so much work in. We're seeing great growth. The Brinx World Downhill Skateboarding Championship. Round number 2 here in Wales. These athletes, these riders have tamed this dragon. And we have got one race left to go. You can see Bouclier, he's still to just get the leathers on and get his helmet back on. But as soon as that first turn is all sorted, after the crash of Josh Fieldwick, we will get this last race underway. Thank you so much for your company this weekend. We have loved having you join us on the live stream wherever you're watching. Whether you're watching on DAZN or on one of our channels on Brinx TV, thank you for joining in the fun, supporting these amazing athletes in this wonderful sport. Time to get the helmet on and get ready for the final of the open stand-up. It all comes down to this. Bouclier up against Clark. Bouclier, the winner in Erzincan in round number 1 back in June. Can he go 2 from 2? It's Clark's first WDSC of the season. Can he get the victory? Here we go. Open stand-up final. Open stand-up final underway. Bouclier in red, Clark in green. And look at the start from these two powerhouses of this sport. Clark just gets in front of Bouclier into turn number 1. The brakes go on, beautiful slide. Great technique from both riders. And Bouclier looking for the pass on the exit. They're through turn 1 cleanly. Now it's on to the little climb. Bouclier just losing a little bit of ground. And look at the Australian. He is building an advantage here. Harry Clark through this little kink. Now the hairpin awaits. He's got about 10 metres or so on the Frenchman. Clark through the hairpin nicely. Bouclier has some serious work to do on the bottom third of this course. This race is Harry Clark's to lose now. Clark just standing up, getting ready for the chicane. Nice entry, little bit of air braking. There's the slide. Bouclier taking some risk. He's closed the gap a little bit, but Harry Clark has got one more turn to negotiate. He's negotiated it well. Bouclier closes in, but it's Harry Clark's victory in Wales. He takes the 100 points. What a race from the Australian. He has found a new gear in finals. The celebrations begin for Clark. Bouclier continues to show his form and class with a second place finish today. Great racing all round from everyone. Congratulations to Harry Clark for the win in the open stand-up, to Colby Parks for his win in the luge. We have loved having your company here in Wales. Big thanks to everyone that's tuned in and getting involved and liking and commenting, following, sharing on social media. We really appreciate the support. Huge thanks, of course, to all of the athletes, the riders, for the job that they do. From myself, Ian Finlay, thank you for listening. Thank you for being with us. Thank you, Wales. We'll see you in the USA.